Okay, buckle up because this one's a wild ride. So, a couple of years ago, I was neck deep in the absolute hellscape that was my life at the time. I'm talking about a toxic family dynamic, a dead-end job, and a seriously messed up boyfriend who was deep into heroin and constantly trafficking weed out of our cracky apartment. Picture me 24, stuck in a borderline abusive relationship with this dude, ill-called D, and my parents. They were a nightmare too. My dad was a violent drunk, and my mom legit enabled all the chaos because she didn't want to be alone. Toxic codependency squared. Anyway, the low point was when Dee got the bright idea to flip some stolen prescription painkillers, but got busted by the cops after a failed sale. Long story short, he total snitched on everyone except me, probably because I was on good terms with the neighbors and not involved. Thank God, but the cops came down on our building hard for any little thing afterward. I was scared out of my mind because I was barely making rent, working two shit jobs, and on the brink of homelessness if Dee went to jail and I got evicted. Here's where it gets juicy. At that point, I wasn't just a victim. I was ready to fight back. Being such a mess financially, I'd been wrestling with the idea of hitting the state's unemployment and welfare system. Not proud of it, but honestly, I needed a break. Dee, meanwhile, kept spinning this story about how the system was rigged and that anyone who tried to scam it was a scumbag. Ironically, that was the same guy flipping drugs on the side. So one night, I made a plan. I crafted a detailed story about how I'd been dealing with sudden medical issues. Nothing too specific because I was scared of getting caught lying, and that I had to quit one of my jobs abruptly. I got fake prescriptions online. Pro tip: dark web is a weird place, and faked doctor's notes. I even went so far as to get a buddy who's a good actor to text me as a case manager from a made-up social service agency to verify my condition if anyone called. I filed for unemployment and disability benefits, massive checks I wasn't entitled to. For 6 months, I skimmed just enough to pay rent and start saving, but here's the glorious part: I used that cash to move out. I found a tiny apartment on the other side of the city, got a legit job away from the drama, and started putting my life back together. But then came the cherry on top. I knew Dee's parole hearing was coming up, so I anonymously tipped off his parole officer about his relapse and ongoing shady dealings. It bet on the fence about doing it, but after he threw me under the bus to protect his ass in jail, I felt zero guilt. Word spread fast, and Dee's hearing was revoked. He got sent back to prison for drug possession and violating parole, which also meant he lost his access to the apartment he crashed in after he got out. The landlord, who was sick of his shit but had no leverage before, kicked him out the moment he got the nod from the parole office. Meanwhile, I have stable bills, a new license, a dog I rescued from a shelter, and a fresh circle of friends who actually cared about me. When my parents tried to drag me back into their drama after hearing I was making bank off the system, I slammed the door in their faces and ghosted for good. Did I feel like a criminal? A little, but honestly, it was never about cheating the system. It was about beating the real monsters dragging me down, and living proof that sometimes you have to break the rules to build a life worth living. So yeah, when did I beat the system? And damn if it wasn't one hell of a victory.